All right, guys, thanks for dropping by the Retro Rockets garage. Today we're gonna do a trying to do a long story in a short video about the first VW Beetles. So I'm gonna ask for some assistance from my AI bot who can tell the story a lot faster than I can ramble on. But please, guys, stay tuned and maybe subscribe to the channel and give us a like to help us to keep making these videos. Okay, and I hope you'll enjoy the history of the VW Beetle, and I'm sure you'll find her just lovely.
In Germany, a young engineer by the name of Ferdinand Porsche, father of the Volkswagen Beetle and later Porsche Motor Works, worked as a consultant. As a child, Porsche was a phenomenon. He designed an electrical lighting system for his hometown from scratch, while most of the big cities in Germany were still in the dark. He had designed electrically powered tanks during World War I, and during the 1920s, he designed race cars for many German auto manufacturers. In the early 1930s, Porsche had his own office, PORSCHE Büro, in Stuttgart. He worked there with 10 collaborators as a consultant for other companies. He had done design work for the recently formed auto union, Porsche, Audi, Wanderer and DKW, and Daimler. Porsche had become famous for the racing cars he had designed for the 750 kilograms racing class. In 1929, Porsche took his design to the German auto manufacturer, Daimler, which later would become Mercedes-Benz. Daimler did not dare market his car for the masses, as it would drive automobile prices down. As early as 1931, however, he had designed a car that carried many of the features of the first Volkswagen. It was streamlined with a central frame and a rear engine configuration. It also had an independent suspension. In 1932, Porsche convinced motorcycle manufacturer Zundapp to begin production of his car, the 1932 Porsche Type 12, also known as the car for everyone, was the first major step in the development of what eventually became the Volkswagen Beetle. 3 prototype models were built. The cars were variants on Porsche's original design, except that they were equipped with a water-cooled 5-cylinder radial engine. It was discovered that due to cooling problems, the engines broke down after a short time in use. Zundapp backed out of the project, and Porsche was without a sponsor. He then approached another motorcycle producer, NSU. They used previously worked-out plans for a car with a 1,500cc engine, a flat, 4-cylinder boxer, based on an air-cooled 90-horsepower airplane engine that Porsche had designed in 1912. It proved to be reliable and durable. The result was Porsche's Type 32. The car was virtually the same as the Zundapp model, except that the suspension was changed from a spring leaf type to torsion. Unfortunately, NSU backed out of the project. In 1933, Hitler had come to power in Germany and created the famous Autobahns. Porsche immediately realized that the infrastructure programs that Hitler was implementing called for roads suitable for his car. In January 1934, the new German Reich government received a design proposal for the Volkswagen, or people's car. The proposal promised to have prototypes in 12 months, and so Porsche looked to his NSU Porsche Type 32. Only 3 examples had been built for NSU. This prototype never went into mass production, but was the basis of what would eventually become the infamous Volkswagen Beetle. It pioneered rear-engine, air-cooled power that laid the groundwork for the 1936 car. It featured a 1.47-liter flat-4 engine with 28 to 30 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, and early torsion bar suspension. With a top speed of roughly 71 miles per hour, the Type 32 showed promise, so was evolved into the vehicle often referred to as the first Beetle, the 1936 Porsche Type 60 V3. Only 3 cars were hand-built in his private garage in Stuttgart and represented the final development before mass pre-production began. The E60 engine started the split-case design that defined VW engines for decades. Early versions lacked an oil cooler, but it was retrofitted to later units. At 985 cc it made 24 horsepower at 3,300 revolutions per minute and 62 miles per hour. By 1937, 30 W30 pre-production models, manufactured by Daimler-Benz, had undergone 1,800,000 miles of further testing. These test cars led to the emerging 1938 KDF wagon, The first production people's car. Thanks for letting me help Clark. The old guy in the garage, LOL. And thanks for watching.
All right, thanks for dropping by the Retro Rockets garage. There's a picture of the 37 Type 60 V30, and then the 1938 KDF wagon, the first production Volkswagen. Okay, well, please subscribe and leave us a like. Thanks for watching the show at the Retro Rockets Garage.